want to start by thanking everybody for the opportunity to be here to address you. As stated, my name is Reddick. My punch number is 146. I actually had one of the people while I've been out campaigning come up with a slogan, "Get to the polls quick to vote for 146." I'd like to tell you this about my candidacy. I had a singular focus in going to law school and even entering the field of law, and that was to serve people. And let me tell you what I mean when I say to serve the people. I actually came up in a single-parent home. There were 5 of us. I'm actually a product of Head Start, if you can believe it. I was fortunate enough to win a scholarship to study at Northwestern University. I went to that school with the intention of entering a career for the field of foreign affairs and diplomatics. In Akron, Ohio, where I was actually born, there was a large German population at one point. So I was being taught German in grade school. So by the time I got to Northwestern, I tested out my language requirement because I had had so much German. I spent some time in Germany and I was on my way. My senior year, I had a sociology class with a professor, the black male professor tenured at Northwestern. And he talked about the injustices he experienced as a tenured professor. He drove a very nice car. He was often pulled over by police and made to put his hands on the hood and harassed. I can't explain to you what that did to me or for me, but it totally changed my course. And instead of wanting to look into the whole field and practice as a foreign affairs and diplomatics individual, I wanted to serve and help people. So I went to law school with a singular focus of representing people who could not afford good counsel, and that's what I did. I was fortunate enough to win a full scholarship. I returned to Ohio, University of Cincinnati College of Law, but immediately upon graduating, I returned to Chicago because once you're bitten by the bug, you cannot resist this city, this area. And for 20 years, I served as an assistant public defender. And despite having that singular focus, I had an extremely varied experience. I got to handle both civil and criminal cases. I started as a law clerk and ended as the deputy chief of the Felony Trial Division. Along the way, my experiences included, and I want to tell you, I was a trial lawyer, not an appellate lawyer, but I had one case in particular, and a couple, but one in particular, in which I had won a new trial for a man who was wrongfully convicted of a double homicide. And he was reconvicted on troubling evidence. Never having written an appeal in my life, I asked permission to keep that case for appeal because it was so important to me that his rights continue to be protected. I wrote the appeal, the appellate court shot me down, no argument, but they gave me some key language that I used to ask the Illinois Supreme Court to hear the case. They agreed to hear the case, and I argued before them in March of 2009. Now, I'd like to tell you that I was successful in that argument, and in some ways I was. I lost by a single vote. It was a 4-3 decision against me. But after that experience, I received notice that I was being invited to submit my name to be considered to fill a judicial vacancy. So I went through the bar evaluation process. Many of the other speakers have explained to you. It is exactly 11 different bar associations. I was evaluated by them in 2009. All found me qualified or recommended. The Illinois State Bar Association found me highly qualified. The Cook County Bar Association found me highly recommended, among all the others. Thereafter, I learned that I was actually receiving the appointment to the Kennard vacancy, which is where I now sit as a judge. I've been sitting since December 2010. I heard traffic cases for just under a year, and then I requested permission to be transferred to the juvenile division, where I hear child protection cases. That was so very important to me because it's the place where I feel I can best serve. It's critical that we reach our young people at the age and their time and in the most vulnerable circumstances to intervene to change their lives for the better. And that's the focus of what I do when I hear child protection cases now. In addition, I've been teaching law school for the past 16 years. I actually started in about 1996 at Loyola Law School teaching legal writing courses. That morphed into legal writing and analysis. I then was invited by John Marshall to teach a clinic, a defense clinic, and trial advocacy courses. And then just this past semester, unintelligently running a campaign, I taught an advanced criminal procedure class at DePaul Law School. I tell you this to say I'm invested in helping to equip and train who our new attorneys become. That has been a labor of love, although very much a labor, carrying a full-time position as an attorney before. But it is my absolute joy and delight to serve as a judge and to have done so successfully for these past 14 months. I need your support to remain in this position and remain doing the good work of a servant. I humbly ask for your support for my candidacy, and I thank you so much for hearing me. Judge Erica Reddick, and my punch number is 146. Thank you.